G'day everyone, Rick Fontaine with you. Tassie Rules, Tasmania's footy show. Wonderful to have your company once again this week on the show. We have got a big show coming up. Very shortly, we're going to be joined by Hawk-on baller, Connor Nash. The Irishman will be here joining us live ahead of a massive clash coming up at UTAS Stadium this week. And what a rivalry they've built, Hawthorn and Port Adelaide. And it is a big, big clash. Very important game for both sides. Yesterday, the SFL and Cancer Council Tasmania launched the Daffodil Round that's coming up on Saturday, the 9th of August. Alison Lai is the CEO of Cancer Council Tasmania, and she's going to join us on the show very shortly with some great messages for everybody as well, and hoping to raise a lot of money through that. Club news coming up as well a little bit later on in the show, and don't forget, that's what we are here for. If you've got any news, please send us a message. We'd love to hear from you. Any favourite photos, and we will certainly pop them up here on our community football show. Anyway, we're going to have a very quick break because waiting for us is Connor Nash. He's next.
For 30 years, DLM Machinery has kept Tasmania's construction industry moving. As the sole Tasmanian distributors of Cabelco, ASV Positrax and Merlot telehandlers, we offer trusted sales, parts and service with locations in Launceston and Hobart. From excavators to telehandlers, routine maintenance to field repairs, our skilled team has you covered wherever the job takes you. DLM Machinery. Local, reliable, ready when you need us. Get in touch today.
Great to have your company on Tassie Rules, Tasmania's footy show. Well, our first guest tonight, he's played 111 games now for the Mighty Hawks since making his debut against Geelong. That was back in round 21, 2018. Hailing from County Meath in beautiful Ireland. The 198-centimetre midfielder is having another strong season for the Hawks. And this week, going to be lining up for a huge game for the fifth-placed Hawks. They're taking on Port Adelaide down here in Launceston. Great pleasure to welcome to the footy show for the first time, Connor Nash. G'day, Connor. Good to see you again, mate. Welcome.
Hi, Rick. Thanks very much for having me on. Looking forward to it.
No, well, we're looking forward to the game down here as well because it's this is actually a very, very significant game. Obviously, a 13-point loss to the Dockers last week, but when you look at that ladder, there is nothing between sort of fourth through to ninth. So no doubt this is a key one that you guys are really getting pumped up for down here in Launceston, where obviously you've got a very good record.
Yeah, huge one. I mean, you said it there yourself, but there's no wiggle room at all in the ladder. So every game from now to the end of the season is huge for us, and we won't be taking this one lightly either. And hopefully we can go another. I think if we win this one, it'll be the second consecutive year where we've gone 4-0 down in Tassie. So it's it's a happy hunting ground for us, and it's a big competitive advantage.
We were talking off camera a little earlier about how what you and obviously all the players think of the ground down here where it's rated. 64 wins from 85 matches, quite extraordinary over the 25 years. 75% wins. I think it's the best out of any team in Australia at any ground. So what is it about Launceston? Is it a combination of the support that's down here, or just the fact that you've been able to build it into a real fortress?
I think it's a combination of both, with the support being the main factor. I mean, the Tassie people and the people of Launceston have embraced us over the last 25 years, as we have with them, and it's just been a wonderful relationship. So we love the ground. We love getting down to Tassie. It's just an easy, seamless one, and definitely feels like a home away from home. So. And as you said, the deck itself, I was just saying to you before, that it's by far the best ground that we play on as a surface in the AFL. So, we love it.
Now, there's obviously quite a rivalry that's been built up over the last 12 months or so in particular, Connor. No doubt you're looking forward to this. They got the better of you with obviously a very strong start to the game. Port over in Adelaide earlier this year, but what's the key to beating a side like this? Because they were obviously very physical in that game early, but where do you think this is going to be won or lost?
I think you hit the nail on the head there. Is the physicality they bring. Yeah, it's the real one. What is it? The contest. So we're going to have to really show up in that area. We were well beaten in that game, and from the very start, they had the upper hand. And I think the last few games they've shown us a bit of a lesson. So we're going to have to be on from the very start. But I think it'll start with the contest, and that's probably where we'll look to improve. Definitely.
Had some great signs with the games down here in Tassie already. You've beaten Adelaide down here, the Giants, two very strong sides that are obviously right in the mix. Obviously, that loss to Fremantle. Does the club dwell on that for long? A loss like that? Do you do a lot of reviewing ahead of another important game just 6 days later?
I think so. With this one, we did a fair bit, and we'll probably do a bit more tomorrow when we get back in there. Is more just touching on what happened after three-quarter time and that fourth quarter. We probably delved into the mental side of things as well a fair bit, and what went wrong there. But I suppose the other thing is these games come around pretty quick and pretty
Yeah.
fast. So most of it is done early in the week, particularly from a team perspective and reviewing there. You might have a bit more individual review, say tomorrow. But from tomorrow on, yeah, we'll start with an Oppo preview on Portland, and it's pretty much full steam ahead with them at the weekend.
You mentioned about your love of coming down here to Tassie. You're going to pop up a photo here. I think you might have been. I know the boys enjoy getting up to Barnbougle. You like your golf down here, and what else do you like in Tassie?
Yeah, I love getting down there. I think my last four mid-season boys have been spent in Tassie. So this year was a bit of a big honour. I was the commissioner of the golf trip, the annual Hawks golf trip to Barnbougle. So Richard and Sally Sadler and Roscoe down there at Barnbougle, they look after us phenomenally well. Really, it's just too good. But it's a beautiful spot. I mean, the scenery is phenomenal, and it's a bit like home for me as well.
Of course,
quite similar to the coastline in Ireland. But yeah, we had a great time. We always have some wonderful times down there, and I would dare say that we were down there a few more times to come as well. So they're probably the main spots, and I suppose just food and different things like that. Tassie's got some great culture in that space. So we love getting down there.
I catch up with Isaac Smith a fair bit down here in Tassie, and his love of Barnbougle. He's told me some stories up there, but it's a very, very, very popular ground place to go. Hey, some really exciting times for the entire football club is Dingley, and we've got some pictures we're going to show because it's pretty imminent now that the move's going to happen to this incredible facility at the Kennedy Community Centre. On track to relocate at the end of the regular season. How exciting is this, and what's it like? Because obviously you guys have had a bit of a tour. It's very near completion now, but it looks stunning.
It does, yeah. We were out there about 2 months ago, I reckon now, and even then it was phenomenal just compared to what we're in now. It's just the next step again with more space, more facilities. Everything's brand new as well. And yeah, it's definitely got lads excited. I think now that it's finally there and we can see it, it's tangible, it's right there. So, I mean, we've been talking about it for a long time and many years about moving from Waverley, but to actually see it now on the final stretch is very exciting for the whole club. It's actually going to bring the club together even more because we'll be stepping on each other's toes with the men's and the women's program. So everyone will be able to get to work under the one roof and do it pretty seamlessly. So I think now they're actually cordoning off areas because it's like, well, that area is done and we don't muddy it up. So it's very exciting, and the lads are starting to chat about it. Everyone's starting to chat about it, so we can't wait for it.
I think those who played out at Glenferrie Oval in the 1980s and earlier will be very jealous at looking at the facilities of today. But it's amazing. And I know there's a message from Hawthorn for all the Tassie members and fans down here as well that make sure when you make a trip to Melbourne that you go and check it out as well because it is quite amazing. Speaking of football, we look at soccer, football of the world game variety, Wrexham FC in town. Great catch up with the lads from the club as well. They came there. We got you being, I think, presented with a shirt. So that must have been very exciting for you, obviously coming from Ireland and football being such a big game over there.
Yeah, it was a big honour to be selected and to meet them. It was phenomenal to have them down in training, like what they've been able to do over the last 4 seasons and continually get promoted the whole way up to now they're in the championship, which is such a competitive league. They'll have to go to another level again. But I mean, everyone I think's been captivated by the whole, by the owners and then the big Hollywood stars
Yeah.
that are looking after it and the series that's gone along with it. But it's yeah, from a team point of view and sporting success, it's second to none really what they've done. So. Yeah, it was a big honour to get the shirt. I didn't bring it home. We've got plans to hang it up in the new players' room in Dingley, so might be able to get a collection of a few different shirts. But yeah, I suppose growing up in Ireland, we're only just across the pond from England, so all's good that side, and would have had a huge influence from soccer, which I call soccer because we've Gaelic football back in Ireland. So it's yeah, it was a pretty exciting day out at the club.
So I was going to ask you, like, obviously they're a Welsh side. You're Irish. Relationship's okay, is it, across the pond?
Yeah, they're not too bad yet. They're all right. They're not too bad at all. So it's look, it's got a huge presence soccer in Ireland, and it's I mean, growing up, me and myself and my mates, when you didn't actually play soccer for a team, but it's one of those games, like it's such a world game that when you went out for a kick with the lads, it was always as nearly a soccer ball. So it's yeah, no, I keep an eye on it from afar, and although my team originally United, I was a big Manchester United man, and particularly a Cristiano Ronaldo man. So it kind of fell off a bit when Ronaldo left for Madrid, but yeah, I do keep an eye on it from afar.
Just final one on a personal scale, I guess. Growing up and back in Ireland, back at home, how did you get into football? And was it particular Irish footballers playing AFL here that inspired you?
There wasn't a whole lot. I didn't know a whole lot really.
Okay.
Mark McKenzie, our current list manager, he rang Dad back in I think 2014 or something, when I was around 14 years of age and 15 years of age. So said, look, we've been watching your son play Gaelic football and rugby and would like to start a bit of a relationship there and see where it takes us. So I didn't know a whole pile other than there was a highlights video on nearly every Sunday morning on a program back in Ireland, and they basically just showed all the speckies, all the phenomenal goals. So neither of those two things I do much of. So it's been that was probably the only introduction to Aussie rules, and then from there it grew with the Hawks and being able to eventually make the move and be here. Yeah, I suppose 9 years later, it's kind of catches me now and again.
It's a great story. And look, Connor Nash, been great to have you on the show. Really appreciate your time. And look, it's a big game for the Hawks. 1:20 is the match getting underway here at UTES Stadium this Saturday afternoon. Just a reminder, kids go free with a paying adult. So let's get down there and cheer on the Hawks. All the best. It's a big few weeks coming up, and doesn't get much bigger with the rivalry against Port Adelaide this Saturday, a key one. We look forward to seeing you down here. Connor, thanks for your time.
Cheers, Rick. Thanks very much.
Connor Nash joining us from the Hawthorn Footy Club. Looking forward to a big day on Saturday. Time for a quick break. We've got more coming up right after the break.
HST Tree Specialists. We are the industry leaders in vegetation management in Tasmania. Our services include tree solutions, hazardous vegetation removal, and project consultations. We are committed to eliminating vegetation-based risk in Tasmania while being sensitive to environmental impact, with a strong focus on health and safety practices. And from large-scale government and commercial projects, small private arboriculture jobs, and equipment hire, MyTas recommends HST.
Welcome back to Tassie Rules, Tasmania's footy show. Well, yesterday, the SFL and the Cancer Council Tasmania, they launched the second annual Daffodil Round at the magnificent North Hobart Oval. It's going to be held on Saturday, the 9th of August. And Cancer Council Tasmania are going to have representation of both North Hobart Oval and also at the Signet Oval on the day. There is a QR code will pop up on the screen as well. And there it is. So if you'd like to make a donation, you could just use that QR code, but there'll be plenty more details coming over the next few weeks in the lead up to it. Alison Lai is the CEO of Cancer Council Tasmania and has been good enough to join us on the show. Welcome, Alison. Nice to see you. Obviously, we crossed paths a few weeks ago, that magnificent night down in Devonport at the Paranapple Centre for the Gala Ball down there. But how are you?
Very good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
No, great to have you with us. Just on this, I mean, I guess with the daffodil round coming up, how important is the SFL's support and the partnership? Because obviously, the reach of the SFL football community is far and wide. How strong is it, and how important is it for Cancer Council?
It's really important, Rick, and we're really, really thrilled to be the charity partner of the SFL. It's actually the second year that we've had this relationship with them, and it came about from obviously discussions between us and the SFL about the opportunity to be involved with the competition and find a way that we might be able to get our message out to the hundreds and thousands of people who are involved in the sport every week. We know there's coaches, players, there's umps, there's physio, there's spectators, and there's families. And one of the things that really stood out to us as well was that we have very similar values around, I guess, community and trying to be there for people when they need us most. And it's been a really lovely alignment of two Tasmanian organisations working together, I guess, to get a really important message out there to the community.
Fantastic. Now, it was launched yesterday. What are the key aims from the Daffodil Round? We've got a photo there on the screen, obviously, with the president of the SFL as well, David O'Byrne, in attendance, and a couple of players. What are you hoping to get, I guess, the SFL, but also Cancer Council out of this very important weekend that's coming up on the 9th of August?
Absolutely. Well, two things, Rick. I mean, it is a fundraising activity for us as well. All the money that gets raised stays here in Tasmania. We only do what we do based on the generosity of the community, and so there is a fundraising component to it. But I'd say that the most important part of it is just the opportunity for the different clubs who are involved, and obviously on game day as well, for us to have a focus on cancer and what that looks like in the community, and provide information and support resources and encourage conversations to be had. Because Rick, if you don't mind, I'll just share a couple of the statistics for your viewers. But every
Yes.
day here in Tasmania, we have just over 11 Tasmanians who are getting a diagnosis, and we know that that's going to increase over the next 10 years, unfortunately. And it is really hard, even in the footy community, to find someone who hasn't been impacted by a cancer diagnosis or knows somebody who's gone through it. And actually, in the last couple of years with the SFL, it's been really, really wonderful. And there's been a number of very generous people in that footy community have come forward to share their own personal cancer stories. And so we're just really hoping to just raise some awareness. It is something that impacts everybody, and help them also be aware of the services that Cancer Council Tasmania provides, because everything we do is free of charge. And in particular, information, resources, support. We do a lot in the prevention space around sun smart, how to minimise your risk of getting sunburn and skin cancer. But one of the things that we know, Rick, is that sometimes just having somebody to talk to who's sometimes outside the family unit that you can speak to confidentially and reach out for information, people find really, really comforting and valuable. So it's really just about getting the message out there that that's what Cancer Council Tasmania is here for, and encouraging those discussions.
Fantastic. And it's interesting what you're alluding to there, because in the football community, there's been a sense that we're not great at talking. Obviously, mental health is a really big subject at the moment. So the Cancer Council Tasmania is not only there to provide support and services directly for those that may be suffering and undergoing treatment for cancer, but it's also their family and those that are impacted as well can actually seek you guys out.
Absolutely, absolutely. It doesn't have to be the person who's been diagnosed. It could be a family member. It could actually just be, a very close. It could be a friend. It could be somebody who just wants to have a chat to somebody about a situation where someone that they care about is going through a cancer diagnosis. And we have incredible resources on different cancer types, different cancer treatment. We've got just resources about how to have conversations about cancer with children, through to raising the topic with your loved ones. So there's a whole lot of resources that we can provide to people in lots of different situations where cancer might be an issue. But Rick, there's a bunch of programs and services we provide. We ranging from financial assistance through to that emotional support, or we can help people get to their cancer treatment if they have got troubles. So my message to the viewers and people on during the round of Daffodil Round will be, reach out if you've got any questions at all. That's what we're here for. We're here to reduce that the impact of a cancer diagnosis for all Tasmanians, and it doesn't matter what cancer. So just reach out, have a conversation. That's what we're here for.
Great message. Final question. It's a very regional competition. As we said in the intro, it extends far and wide. One of the great things of services that Cancer Council Tasmania offers is the transport to treatment. And I guess that's another message of why it's important for people to donate if they can, because that service can just help people, particularly for those that are out of town or may not be able to get to their treatment. It's one of the magnificent things that your organisation offers.
Yeah, absolutely. Like this year alone, we've done over 7,000 return trips around the
Wow.
state. But here in southern Tasmania, we're down in Huonville, like we're down in the peninsula. We'll go up to Tribunna and up through the middle there, or New Norfolk. Like if people are having some challenges getting to their cancer treatment, that's what our service is there for. It's free of charge. And those cars are supported by an incredible group of volunteer drivers. And all of the costs that are required to pay for those cars, is being supported through all of the donations and the fundraising that we do. So yes, it's a credible service. It's probably one of our most well known, but also most impactful and valued in the community.
Brilliant. Alison Light, CEO of Cancer Council Tasmania. The work that you and your team do, we've seen it firsthand, is incredible. Saturday, the 9th of August, there it is on the screens for all our viewers. Once again, there is a QR code. If you are able to make a donation, all the money stays here in Tasmania. That would be wonderful. Saturday, the 9th, great stuff from the SFL and from Cancer Council Tasmania. Wonderful partnership. Thanks for being a guest with us today, Alison.
Thank you very much.
That is Alison Lai, the CEO of Cancer Council Tasmania. And whilst we're on the subject of the SFL, let's have a look at the current state of play. Of course, we've got big rep footy coming up this weekend. So let's have a look at the ladder. Firstly, in the SFL Premier League men's, we can see there that Lauderdale on top of the table. A couple of games clear of Clarence. North Hobart and Glenorchy making up the 4. And in the Premier League women's competition, very tight top 3 here. The Roos, Clarence, a game clear of North Hobart. Kingborough are a further game behind the Demons. Certainly well and truly the pace setters there in the Premier League women's. Turning our attention to the SFL Community League now. And Cygnet, well, they are absolutely dominating. 12 wins from 12. They are 4 games clear of Dodgers, Ferry and Huonville. Lindisfarne and Sorrel, very tight there for 4th, just separated by a couple of percent as we get into the back half. New Norfolk, Hobart and Claremont making up the rest. In the SFL Community Women's League, Claremont, well, they're on the bottom in the men's, but they're on top in the women's. They are also 12 wins from 12 with an off-the-chart percentage. Have a look at that percentage. Over 2,000. They're having an outstanding season, as are Hutchins, who've just had the 1 loss. They're on 11 wins from 12. Well and truly the pace setters there. Last week, we did a focus on the NWFA, but let's have a look at how things are going in the Oatlands District Football Association. And we can see there that Bothwell are on top. They are a game clear of Campania. So Bothwell with 11 wins from 12. Then we've got the Rabbits and the Wallabies. Well, first and second, Bothwell, Campania. They're meeting this Saturday at Campania. So a win for the home team there would see them move to top of the ladder on percentage. In other matches, Tribunna, who are currently 4th, are playing at Woodsdale. Oatlands are at home to Mount Pleasant. The finals, only a few weeks away. 9th of August, grand final on Saturday, the 23rd of August. And the leading goal kickers, we love this one every week, showing who is kicking the most bags. Well, Caleb Triffett from Bothwell is on 77 goals. He kicked 6 last week in their win over Tribunna. Dylan Huxley, though, he was the big mover last week. 13 goals he kicked against Oatlands. He is on 38 goals. We love getting our photos in. And here's a couple from a regular contributor to the show in Peter Haley. This is from Perth's 63-point win over Bridport in the NTFA Division 2 clash last weekend. And we can see on the ladder that Perth remain top of the table in the NTFA Division 2. They are 2 games clear of the East Coast Swans. And another regular viewer and contributor, Tommy Smith, sent us this photo in a magnificent day down at Cygnet. So thanks to Tom for sending that through. And just finally, big reunion coming up at Blue Gum Park, Georgetown, the Hall of Fame reunion, Saturday, the 2nd of August. Just $40 a head. Includes lunch and drinks. All the details are on the club's Facebook page. Of course, Georgetown were inducted as a legendary team earlier this year into the Tasmanian Football Hall of Fame. So that's going to be fantastic. And they'll be taking on Rochalee at home that day. So that is one to look forward to for those associated with the Saints. All right, that is this week's show. Thanks very much to Alison Lyon, of course, to Connor Nash for joining us. Big game coming up at UTAS Stadium on Saturday, the Hawks and the Power. Thank you for your company. We look forward to seeing you next week.